Welcome back to new session. This is continuation of integration management knowledge area. In this session, we will study develop project management process. This is very important process as this is where you perform detailed project planning by integrating all other plan and all baseline like scope, cost and schedule. Learning objective of this session is quick overview to understand why project plan is required and what it contains. We'll talk about process definition, input tool techniques outputs for project management plan process, how to start development of PMP, what is process tailoring, what are the different subsidiary plans, and what are the project document. And finally, we will have a quick review. Let's take a quick look at 7 processes from integration management knowledge area. Develop project charter under initiating process group. Develop project management plan under planning process group. Direct and manage project work under execution. Manage knowledge again under execution, monitoring and controlling project work, and perform integrated change control under monitoring and controlling process group, and finally close project or phase under closure, closing process group. Let's try to understand why project plan is required and what it contains. Imagine as a project manager, you walk into office and your day starts with various stakeholders like project sponsor, steering committee members, PMO, project team members, line managers, new joiners to the team, external auditors, all asking various questions. Questions like why you are doing this project or activity, what you are developing or delivering, who is doing what, when product will be delivered, how you are going to resolve the issues. And you'll end up checking emails, going through different documents, asking team members to find required detail. What's happening? You as a project manager, you are spending your energy reacting to everyone's need. Now imagine if all this information is available through some central document and this can be communicated easily. Our stakeholder can fetch this information on their own. Project manager will be able to focus more proactively dealing with project risk, issues, stakeholder needs, etc. Anyone who wants to know about the project, they can refer to a centralized document called PMP. In nutshell, the purpose of project management plan is to communicate intent of the project, serve as a guide for project manager throughout the execution of a project, provide project structure, provides documentation, and provides baseline. It is the central document which guides the overall execution of the project. Project managers prepares project management plan with the help of various stakeholders which include his team. Project management plan contains project approach, baseline like scope, cost, schedule, describe how to direct and manage resources, describe how to monitor and control resources. It also provides links to all subsidiary plan, or on a smaller project, all subsidiary plan might be contained in the same document. It describes how to manage changes, reporting structure, reporting frequency, document key assumptions and decisions, and this is used for stakeholder communication and engagement. Please remember, project management plan should be approved before project work begins. What are the subsidiary plans? These are the various plans which are output of planning processes from various knowledge areas. This plan has to be integrated and consolidated in project management plan. The subsidiary plans are scope management plan, requirements management plan, schedule management plan, cost management plan, quality management plan, resource management plan, communication plan, stakeholder engagement plan, risk management plan, and procurement plan. Project management plan also contains scope, schedule, cost baselines against which project manager will need to report project performance. Scope baseline, the project scope statement, work breakdown structure, and WBS dictionary. Schedule baseline, the agreed upon schedule with milestone. Cost baseline, approved time phased cost budget. Remember, all of this has to be approved and they will be integrated inside project management plan. Often during the project, we observe deviation from baseline. It may be scope, schedule, or cost. These deviations are often due to incomplete risk identification and risk management. How to handle a problem on project? Look at your project management plan to see how you plan to handle such problem. Another common misunderstanding is between project management plan and project schedule. Project management plan tells you how work will be performed. Project schedule is activities, milestones on timeline. Remember, both are not same. Project schedule is a component of project management plan. Let's take a look at develop project management plan process definition. It is a process of defining, preparing, coordinating, and integrating all subsidiary plans. It is a central document that defines the basis of project work. It defines how the project will be executed, monitored, and controlled and closed. Remember, you may get direct question on definition. Best way to get yourself familiarized with definition is through flashcards. Let's have a quick look at input, tool techniques, and output. The inputs are project charter, output from other processes, enterprise environmental factor, organizational process assets. Project charter. It is a starting point for initial planning. We get information like project purpose or justification, SMART objective, high-level requirement, high-level project description, summary milestone, summary budget, stakeholder list, high-level risk, etc. All this information act as input which will be elaborated in various project documents and subsidiary plans. So it acts as input to project management plan, a scope, while gathering requirement. It also acts as an input for schedule, project budget, etc. Second input is output from other processes. This input is confusing to most of the student. Let me take a simple example and make it simple. We all know project management plan is a combination of all subsidiary plans. To create subsidiary plan, we have PMP as input, and to create project management plan, we have output from other processes as input, which means this is chicken and egg situation. The output from other processes here refer to all subsidiary plans and baseline from all planning processes. As you know, PMP is a live document. It gets updated as more and more information is made available. It is also referred as a progressive elaboration. For example, communication management plan is output of a plan communication management process. Scope management plan is output of scope management process. Quality management plan is output of plan quality management process. All these subsidiary plans get integrated into project management plan. Remember, Any update to subsidiary plan or baseline will result in updating project management plan. Let's take further an example to understand how to prepare project management plan and at what stages all these subsidiary plans will act as an input. Imagine you are working on a project, you have been given project charter and you have to start planning. So next step is to create project management plan. But the problem is, where do we start? So I prepare a schedule to complete all planning activities in 4 weeks. I will start working on project management plan by documenting project approach, project phases, phase-wise deliverable, etc. In parallel, I will ask my senior business analyst to create scope management plan. Once ready, I will integrate that plan into project management plan. In meantime, I will ask my technical lead to create schedule management plan. After completion, I will integrate this plan also into project management plan. I will also work on cost management plan and integrate it into PMP. By now, all 3 subsidiary plans are integrated in project management plan. Business analyst will start activities as per scope management plan and start collecting requirements, creating scope document, and he will prepare scope baseline. Technical lead will use scope baseline and schedule management plan to prepare schedule. Scope and schedule will be used further to estimate cost. Finally, I will have all 3 baselines, that is scope, schedule, cost, ready to be integrated inside project management plan. Same continues until all other subsidiary plans are prepared and integrated in project management plan. Once the project management plan is approved, project will be ready for project kickoff. I hope this gives you a clear understanding of how PMP will be prepared. What are the tools and techniques used in creating project management plan? These are almost similar to project charter. Expert judgment, data gathering, interpersonal and team skills, meetings. Let's have a closer look at each of them. Expert judgment. Expertise should be considered from individuals or groups. Expertise can be technical expertise, quality management expertise, HR, training expertise, configuration management, etc. Expert can help project manager to perform process tailoring, can help develop components of project management plan. As we saw previously, business analyst has created scope management plan and technical lead has created schedule management plan. It also helps you to determine resources and skill level, determine tools and techniques to be used, and prioritization of work. Data gathering techniques. Following data gathering techniques might be used: brainstorming, checklist, focus group, interviews. Let's look at them one by one. Brainstorming. A general data gathering and creativity technique that can be used to generate and collect multiple ideas. It is frequently used to gather idea and solution about project approach. Participant of this can be project manager, project team member, subject matter expert, or other related stakeholder. Brainstorming goes through multiple stages. Problem identification. This is a prior activity. Idea generation and idea selection, which is decision making, happens in the session, and implementation is a post activity. Next data gathering and creativity technique is checklist. Checklist is a list of items you need to verify or check or inspect. It can guide development of project management plan. It can help project manager to verify all required information is included in the PMP or not. Many organizations have standard checklist. Project manager can use standard checklist or checklist from industry to apply it on your projects. Focus group. These are the workshops used to bring together pre-qualified stakeholders and SMEs. Trained moderator will develop a discussion by asking various predefined questions. Participants can be project manager, sponsor, management, customer, project team. Discussion can be around project management approach, integration of different components of PMP. There are pros and cons. The pros are it has a fixed agenda and it is more structured approach towards discussion or meetings. Cons are trained moderator is required, which means you may need additional cost. There is less control due to participations of various experts in the meeting. The last data gathering technique is interviews. Interview is an approach to elicit information from stakeholder by directly talking to them, asking them spontaneous questions. It is useful in obtaining specific or confidential information. It can be used with any stakeholders like project participants, sponsor, other executives or subject matter experts. It helps developing project management or any component of PMP or project documents. Another important tool and technique used to create project management plan is interpersonal and team skills. Interpersonal and team skills used while developing project management plan includes conflict management, facilitation, meeting management. Conflict management helps bring diverse stakeholders in alignment on all aspects of project management plan. Facilitation technique ensures effective participation from stakeholder. It helps you to develop mutual understanding and achieve agreement to finalize project management plan. Meeting management ensures all meetings are well planned and executed. This is done through having proper agenda for each meeting. There is representation from each stakeholder groups, and also at the end of every meeting, minutes of meeting are distributed and proper follow-up sessions are scheduled. Meetings. In project management, meetings are very important, but sometimes they can be time killers. During development of project management plan, meetings are used to discuss project approach, determine how work will be executed, establish how project will be monitored and controlled. There are two main categories of meeting: planning meeting and kickoff meeting. During planning meeting, team discuss the project approach, planning intent, and also discuss how work will happen. Kickoff meeting happens at the end of planning and at the beginning of execution. It helps project manager to communicate project objectives, get team commitment, and explain roles and responsibilities to various stakeholders. Kickoff meeting happens at different points depending on characteristics of a project. For a small project, one team performs planning and execution, and kickoff happens at the beginning of planning process group. For large project management team does a majority of planning. Remember, project team is on board after completion of initial planning at the start of a development or implementation. So kickoff meeting takes place at the beginning of execution process group. In multi-phase project, kickoff happens at the beginning of each phase of the project. The key output of this process is Project Management Plan. Let's once again have a quick look at what is PMP and what it contains. Project Management Plan describes how project will be executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. It integrates and consolidates all subsidiary plans and baselines. It contains project authorization, project development approach like predictive or agile, life cycle phases and respective deliverables for each phase, project baselines like scope baseline, schedule baseline, and cost baseline, all subsidiary plans like scope management plan, schedule management plan, cost management plan, etc. Process tailoring. We'll talk about process tailoring in upcoming slides. Performance measurements, which helps you to integrate all baselines. Also management review points. Let's take a look at subsidiary plans of a PMP. Starting with scope management plan. It defines how scope will be defined, developed, monitored, controlled, and validated. Requirement management plan defines how requirement will be analyzed, documented, and managed. Schedule management plan describes how the project cost will be planned, structured, and controlled. Quality management plan describes how organization quality policies, methodologies, and standards will be implemented in the project. Resource management plan describes how project resources are categorized, allocated, managed, and released. Communication plan describes how communication will be planned, structured, implemented, and monitored for effectiveness. Stakeholder engagement plan describes how various stakeholders will be engaged in decision making and execution. Risk management plan describes how risk management activities will be structured and performed. Procurement plan will describe how project team will acquire goods and services from outside the organization. Additional component of PMP are change management plan, which describe how change requests will be authorized and incorporated. Configuration management plan describes how information about items of a project will be recorded and updated. It can be documents or it can be equipments. Performance measurement baselines are integrated scope, schedule, cost plan for the project to measure and manage performance. Remember, current project performance will be assessed or will be compared with the performance measurement baselines. Project management plan also contains baselines, that's a scope baseline, schedule, and cost baselines, against which the PM will need to report project performance. Scope baseline is a combination of project scope statement, work breakdown structure, WBS dictionary approved by a sponsor or concerned project stakeholders. Schedule baseline is agreed upon schedule including start and end dates of major deliverables and milestone dates. Cost baseline is a time-phased cost budget approved by management. Project documents. These documents are not part of project management plan. However, they are necessary to manage project effectively. We all work on this document. Most commonly used documents are risk register, which contains list of all risk, issue log, milestone list, lesson learned register. You don't need approved change request to update this document. As and when you find information, you can go and update this document. However, as a result of updating this document, project manager may raise a change request. We will talk about purpose of these documents and how they get created during respective knowledge areas. This is very important process. You need to get good understanding of how PMP are developed, how subsidiary plans are integrated, and how baselines are integrated. Let's do a quick review. What did we learn in this process? We started with why project management plan is required and what it contains. Then we gone through the process definition. We talked about input tool techniques and outputs which are similar to project charter. Then we saw example illustrating how to develop project management plan, how to integrate subsidiary plans and baseline inside it. We also talked about process tailoring. We gone through the list of subsidiary plan and what they means. We talked about 3 baseline. We also talked about project documents. Good job, keep learning. See you in next session to learn direct and manage project work process.